Hello, it's been a while, well, not been too long, but it's been maybe, I think, nearly a week since I've done last reacts. I've been very busy with school, but I have found the time to try and record some reacts and then hopefully upload a few of them each day. So today we'll be reacting to Germany has finally built a decent airport made by the channel the BYB1M. Such a good channel. I discovered this channel maybe 2 weeks ago, and the stuff it covers, it's an incredible channel that where I'll be reacting to more of its stuff because it's really informational, and it's just it's very interesting. I like interesting stuff, and I like these types of videos. I've forgotten it for who knows how long. I watch these types of videos where they like showcase like a new project in their country or airports or build this type of stuff. I love it. So we're gonna be reacting to it. It's nearly a 20-minute video. It's Germany has finally built a decent airport.
Forged to fail, a huge expansion to one of Europe's busiest airports. One of the largest privately funded infrastructure projects on the entire
I'll try not
continent.
pause too often. I'll try and commentate.
The region's biggest and best travel hubs before they fly even further out of reach.
Okay.
But most of all, it had one job: to avoid a repeat of what happened last time.
Last time.
The airport was supposed to have been
Berlin.
completed 8 years ago.
Obviously the
but
capital.
They are still working on it.
A number of construction flaws, poor planning, and even alleged corruption is to blame.
Corruption.
Finished 9 years ago. Then technical problems and safety defects began piling up.
It's a huge embarrassment for a country world renowned for its engineering.
Yeah, I was gonna say Germany isn't the best engineering school in Germany or Austria.
Since the horror show that was Berlin Brandenburg, an episode that really has sullied this nation's aviation reputation. Now, with Frankfurt's long-awaited new terminal finally up and running,
Frankfurt. That's a big city in Germany.
The question,
I might be wrong. West?
Germany achieved a smooth touchdown this time around.
Okay. The 1B1M.
It's the morning of April 23rd, 2026, and a plane has just landed in Frankfurt. There's nothing.
Oh, this airport's
It's just
operating?
one of hundreds of aircraft that touch down at Germany's largest airport every day.
Okay.
But this China Southern Airlines flight was significant because these were the first travellers to arrive at Frankfurt's brand new,
Oh,
much anticipated Terminal 3.
so this is new. This is new. April this year, so we're in May, June, July. 4 months old. Okay.
Following more than 10 years of construction,
10
it's
ye-
the
wow.
culmination of one of Europe's biggest airport upgrades in recent times. This would be a strengthening of what was already a
I want to visit this airport now.
transport hub.
Those lucky folks.
I think we all know for me, the best airport is the Singapore airport. But I've never been, I have been to Europe, but years ago.
May have just endured an 11-hour slog from Shenyang, but arriving into T3 will certainly have perked them up because there was a lot of hype.
It's operated
For me, right, the biggest, I'm gonna not try and speak too long, but especially layovers, you got the layover. When you have a layover at an airport, some airports aren't really layover airports. Fairs. They're not airports where you're gonna have a good, like if you know that the airport you're gonna be landing for a layover is not the best, don't be surprised, don't get annoyed. But you know when these big, like the different hubs like Dubai and Singapore and I guess Frankfurt, these airports where you can probably have layovers, or you've obviously coming from like a long flight. I think you got to take in consideration long flights. Like the people, how do I explain it? You don't want to arrive. People that arrive, okay, they are gonna be tired. Most of them, right? Most of them might be coming from, I don't know, somewhere in Europe. So it's like 2 hours, 3 hour trip. The people that are coming internationally, like the ones from outside of Europe, you gotta make the airport comfortable. You gotta make it so when they land, it is so easy. You gotta make it the easiest you could possibly make it for someone around. Obviously, you got like customs and all that, but you gotta also make it as easy and comfortable as possible to make them relax, relax, relieve a bit of tension after sitting down for however long.
Fraport had been calling it one of Europe's most advanced terminals.
And it's just not arriving, it's departing as well. You gotta have, obviously at Brisbane, the international airport, Brisbane, it is getting an upgrade, right? But it is shocking. That's all you need. That's all I'm gonna say. It's shocking. The domestic terminal, it's all right. That's got an upgrade, a slight upgrade. It's all right. When you're waiting for at your gates, it's good. The domestic terminal is actually good. It's got a lot of restaurants. The international, it is awful. Like genuinely awful.
With a high quality passenger experience and
Rapid.
Now, we're going to come on to what that looks like in a minute. But first, while there was some excitement ahead of this project's opening...
Oh, this looks like a shopping mall.
And the reason for that is this. The country's last attempt at airport construction didn't exactly go very well.
Yes, I'm sorry, Germany. Just when you thought I'd finally stopped talking about Berlin-Brandenburg, I'm going to bring it up again. To reassure you, we have a whole video on that Szkag. You can go and watch it now.
Ooh, I may watch
In
that.
this case right here, we're going to keep things nice and brief.
For
Okay.
those of you who don't know, BER finished 9 years later than it should have done and went 5 billion euros.
9. So you're telling me 9? Sorry, it's a German. What's the German for 9? No, or okay, but 9 years later, you're 9 years late to build an airport, and you're 5 billion over budget, mate. That's like 50 Neymars. Sorry, 50, 25 Neymars. That's crazy.
Budget. It ended up
25
costing more
Neymars,
than
nearly
4
25,
times what
28.
it was supposed to. Back in 2013, a year after it was expected to open, a catalogue of errors were on.
Wait, so it was meant to open in 2013? So you're telling me this airport opened in 2022? So I imagine this took nearly a decade to make. So you're telling me they started building the airport from like 02, 03, but it, that's when they begun building it. They finished building it and then they couldn't open it. What?
Covered. There would be over 500,000 of them in total. The lighting worked, but couldn't be switched off. Escalators were built too short, and the fire safety alarm was faulty.
Oh, I'm a dumbass. It opened in 2013, but it was so it was meant to open what? In 2004? So you're telling me it was meant to open in like 2004? But it only opened in 20...
If you were to pass through Brandenburg today, you'd find no evidence of its past struggles. In fact, it's become a perfectly functioning airport.
So it's a good airport. Ah.
The hope was that Germany's next aviation project would end with a positive result too,
So
but without any...
So it's not like it's a good airport. It's just the destination's good. The journey to where it is now was horrible, is what I'm hearing.
of the chaos along the way. Especially as this wasn't an entirely new airport, but an upgrade to an existing one, albeit massive. One more thing, and then we're going to get into it. And you might already be wondering this. Why isn't the biggest travel hub in Germany in the capital? Well, it all stems from when Berlin and the country as a whole was divided into East and West.
East and
after
West.
the end of World War II.
Berlin's in the east, no?
Berlin wasn't very well placed to be a central hub for the more prosperous West Germany. Frankfurt's Terminal 1 opened its doors in 1972, right in the middle of the Cold War. By the 90s, it had become overcrowded and air travel was surging, which is why a second
Where's this footage from?
was soon unveiled. To carry travellers between the two terminals, an automated people mover called the Skyline was introduced. It was the first driverless...
Wait, people mover. Driverless. It's just that he said people mover, so I was a bit confused. But yes, Skylines. I love these.
...passenger transport system in the whole of Germany. And it was cleverly designed to be expanded in the future.
Oh, whoa. No, nothing.
The city
It was all
of
flag.
Germany's top airline is based. It's a huge industrial centre, and almost half of the country's population lives within 200 kilometres of it. So its airport grew to become the biggest, and has stayed that way ever since.
In the end, it came down to convenience. It doesn't matter how beautiful your airport is, if it's impossible to get to or nobody can find it in the first place, then you're going to fail to land any customers. The same can be said for almost any business. Build it and they will come, as long as it pops up in the Google search rankings. Which means having a website that's as good as your content, whether that's artisanal homemade schnitzel recipes,
Jump ahead.
or click the link below. While you're
Sorry,
signing for that,
I am not
take a
advertised by
look
them,
at
so
where
I will not be
the
promoting them.
airport falls in the world rankings.
At a European level, Frankfurt is now the 6th busiest airport on the continent, serving more than 6
Continent? Oh,
million
Europe.
passengers each year. But despite that, its competitors have been growing faster. The only way it was going to climb the table was to expand, and not just by a little bit. They would have to go big, and that
How
meant building
big?
to the south of the airport's 4 runways. Terminals 1 and 2 were built on the north side over
Oh.
here. Overall, Frankfurt's new Terminal 3 has a footprint of 176,000 square
That sounds a
meters.
lot. That sounds
That's the
big.
equivalent of 25 Deutsche Bank parks, the city's 52,000-seat football stadium. Much
Oh,
of this
wow, that's
space is
massive.
taken up by the giant new concourses, piers G, H, and J. With these, T3 has capacity for up to 19 million passengers every year. H and
Every
J will
year.
have 24 docking stations between them, with Pier J, the larger of the two, offering 4 more. These are for wide-body aircraft. At 600 metres, it's 50% longer than Pier H and has 3 levels instead of 2. This extra story is for passengers coming or going from outside the Schengen zone. Another unique feature of Pier J is the visibility of the Y-shaped columns. These don't just dissipate the load of the structure above into the ground foundations below, they serve an architectural purpose too. And that's not the only thing with these piers. If or when the other planned extension, Pier K, gets built in the future, T3's capacity could rise to 25 million passengers. But this wasn't a recent
Wow.
idea. Fraport's mission to add a new terminal began decades ago. T3
Decades?
was
How
first
da-
approved in the year 2000 after the
That
local
I find this stuff, man. Like when they approve something and then like for me the biggest example, if you know Valencia Stadium, bro, they proved that they've only begun building it like a year or 2 years ago, but they approved it and then it's been taking them like because of financial reasons, like 13 years to actually start building it. It's like,
government decided to back the expansion.
but I will say though, if they did build it when they approved it, the airport wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be as modernized to how it is today.
Time to bring in the architects with a 2-phase competition that saw nearly 50 firms from right around Europe submit their ideas.
Ooh.
A modular-based system envisioned by London-based Foster & Partners won the first round. But it was Frankfurt's own Christoph Mackler architects that emerged victorious in the crucial second stage. Their job was to take Foster's concept and turn it into a detailed design, which Mackler describes as modern with a feel-good ambiance.
Oh, this
He wanted
airport
the
looks
terminal's main
nice.
sections, the gates, lounges and piers, to feel
Why am I getting
like
Haneda
small
vibes?
squares of a city, filled with lights and packed with
No,
amenities.
actually, it's Singapore
T3 would be
vibes.
somewhere
This is
passengers
literally
would
like
enjoy
Singapore.
being, instead of just killing time before their flight. By now, it was 2007, and a zoning plan to figure out what other infrastructure upgrades would be needed aside from the terminal itself was signed off. The result of this was an enlargement of the nearby motorway interchange.
Oh, I'm an idiot. It was approved, but then he decided to plan. Okay,
a new
my
line
bad.
for the people mover that would run between terminals 1
Oh,
and
this is the
2,
skyline.
which is perhaps even more important than the existing one when you look at the distance between these terminals.
Damn.
But there was a problem. The rail line would have to pass around the end of the runway, but also be high enough to get passengers in and out of the terminals. That's why it's been built at varying heights. The sections nearest the terminals are elevated on large V-shaped columns. When trains go past where the planes are taking off and landing, the track drops down to grade level. All in all, it meant there was going to be a lot more to this project than just the main terminal. A new
Oh, okay.
runway had to be constructed first, but then the
I love these runways. There's one in Sydney, right?
runway had to
You have like these bridge runways. They're so cool. A highway going on the runway.
But then the global financial crisis of 2008 hit, and Terminals 1 and 2 found they weren't yet stretched to capacity. So the construction permit for the new works wasn't signed until 2015. Once that
Right.
happened, it meant that work could finally get
What?
started later that year.
I like
The
this.
work would all take place in a spot that's already steeped in aviation history. Before T3 was constructed,
Rhein-Main
the site was home to an
Airbus.
old Air Force base, but not a German one. It was actually occupied by the US Air Force from the end of World War II up to 2005, when
Damn.
it was handed back to Germany.
As with any building, they couldn't start assembling the main structure or anything inside it without first sorting out the foundations. And because these foundations were going to be for an absolutely enormous new airport terminal, they started by clearing a vast amount of space. Around 66,000 square meters to be precise, which is the same as 5 Reichstag buildings. The enormous construction period would stretch across this massive area was delivered in 2 phases. First up was the dry excavation. This involved bringing in excavators, rigs and bulldozers to extract and remove up to 300 truckloads of material every day for 6 months.
I mean, they must get paid good, bro, because of how boring this must have been.
The pit's sandy bottom to create retaining walls. These prevented groundwater from pouring in and allowed the team to dig down a little bit further before things got a bit damp. Which brings us
rain issues, weather.
Wet excavation. By
wet.
The floor was heading below the water table, and there was still quite a way to go.
Okay, I don't know about. So, there's water? Obviously, there's like water in the ground. So what? Is that how the ground works? Like there's water, like ponds, like this. Is there a literal water sitting like this in like the ground, or is this like the water that was in the ground that's like come out? I don't know. I might be an idiot.
Around 11 meters, and that gave them no choice but to let the water in. Lots of it, but all nice and contained. Next, concrete was poured in to seal the bottom of the pit. Yes, underwater.
Oh, I thought they were sucked the water out like a straw.
To check that it was all going to plan. After the concrete had cured, the water was pumped out and sent off to a purification plant before being released back into the ground again. Fast forward to 2020, and the structural shells, or carcasses of the main sections, were beginning to take shape.
Carcasses?
Here you can see those
these are like the big,
on Pier J. There are 86 of them in total along both sides.
I just couldn't imagine, like, someone literally designed those, like, how much are you getting paid? You must be getting paid good, bro. I think construction gives you good pay, no? I might be dumb. Maybe for, like, the bigger projects like this, you're constructing an airport, you must be getting paid good, because you have to get all these, you know, you gotta be calculated. Obviously, the biggest thing is just, like, you actually do it right, you know? Because, like, if you make one small mistake, it could, I don't know, destroy the airport somehow. So, you must be get paid good enough to actually make sure you do your job right.
Each weighing over 22 tons. At the same time, progress had been made with the construction of the new people mover line. The columns were in, and the track was being installed with its concrete girders and frames made from prefabricated parts. A few more years passed before the platforms began to take shape, along with the elevated section that connects with the new terminal building. And by late 2024, vehicles could be seen racing around on test runs, closely monitored by the control centre. But hold on a minute, I just mentioned 2020, and something else happened that year.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, I'd rather not go there either, but the pandemic is a part of this story. All kinds of major projects around the world were impacted.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think a lot of, like, most projects that have been made today, or have definitely, like, been at, like, obviously there's some things that have been approved after COVID. Now, COVID just influenced everything. So I would imagine, like, some approvals that have been made in the last, like, 5 years maybe have even been influenced because of COVID. Like, either, like, financially or environmentally or financially or other reasons. And obviously projects that were approved before COVID. Obviously, imagine COVID hits, it halts the project.
Especially hard hit. Passenger demand plummeted, creating all kinds of uncertainty for new builds like T3. Getting the right materials, equipment, and people.
What would have popped off in COVID? Because, like, airports would have suffered because people weren't traveling as much. Like, surely 2020 was, like, the lowest travel year for any year in the world, at least in this century, right? It would have been low. Obviously, there would have been a lot of people still traveling, but I wonder. I'm trying to think, what else would have been, like, bad? I'm trying to think, like, The air would have been better, no? Because the car's not. I might be an idiot saying stuff like this. It is pretty late. What would have been big? Like, what would have gone up? I guess, like, Amazon. No, Amazon was very big, though. But I don't know.
A real challenge. It's one of the main reasons why the terminal's opening, originally planned for 2022,
so it's pushed. So this one even got delayed, but reasonable delays, like valid.
Under 3 billion euros, but the final figure was around 4 billion. Now, sure,
so $1 billion over.
A small increase, and the same can be said for the delay. But it's nothing compared to the Berlin fiasco.
Yeah, I was going to say the Berlin one's 5 bill over.
Into the same trap was the design freeze. A big thing at Brandenburg was the constant redesigns, which ended up making everything take more time.
Constant redesigns. Mate, you gotta finalize them at the beginning.
And then stuck to them, which is a much less costly way of doing things.
Speaking of costs, I really should point out where all the capital from this came from. Fraport says it was the biggest project on the continent to be privately funded, at least at the time of construction. Now, that might sound odd when the state of Hessen has a 31% stake in the operator.
I was going to say, wouldn't like...
Frankfurt holding another...
Yeah, I don't know what state of Hessen. Is that the region and the city? I would imagine like the actual city... I mean, that is, to be fair, 48... So the private funding is... If you combine the state of Hessen and city of Frankfurt, it is 4% more than the private funding. They're contributing 4% more than the private funding, but private funding covering nearly half of it, and not even like I'll think the city would try and cover it, but
21%. But
that's crazy to think.
Give them a controlling public influence over the company and therefore the project. Those local authorities didn't have to put in a single euro to build T3.
So it's not being paid for out of public taxes, but now that it's people of Germany, and indeed travellers from all around the world, have been able to give their verdicts.
When it comes to architecture and design, the response has been mostly positive. There are loads of comments about its visual appeal, the choice of shops...
Oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, that looks beautiful.
Design, the response has been mostly positive.
I don't know, the roof is cool, man. Mate, you wouldn't see this like anywhere else except for an airport.
There are loads of comments about its visual appeal, the choice of shops and restaurants. But the experience hasn't been trouble-free for everyone. Some have complained about painfully long lines at immigration.
That's not what I like.
Because of the EU's new digital border system. What is more a fault of the new terminal and its infrastructure is the problem that loads of passengers faced just a month after the opening. The new Skyline extension stopped working, giving people no choice but to take shuttle buses between the terminals instead, and it took 3 weeks to get it up and running again. Since then, things seem to have been going relatively smoothly, and there have been no major issues during T3's first summer of operation.
Oh, nice car.
Now, we're not quite done.
I got the hiccups now.
Because it's not just travellers who've been giving Frankfurt's new expansion their approval, at least on aesthetics.
The terminal is one of 7 projects.
The world's
2026 list of the world's
most beautiful airports,
published by Prix Versailles. It's a series of awards that's given out each year across various categories.
It is beautiful. The architecture.
Others include Navi Mumbai and the new Pittsburgh International Airport.
What other beautiful airports are they saying? Frankfurt, obviously. Mumbai's, Pittsburgh, San Diego, Cambodia. India's there twice, and Guangzhou.
Now, you know about
but Cambodia. Might need to head over there.
Pretty recently.
As for my summary on T3, well, it's not been perfect, but these projects rarely are. What's been achieved here is great, and there's recognition of it coming in from passengers. They can feel it and experience it, which is fantastic. And it bodes well, because Frankfurt isn't yet done with its airport glow-up.
Oh,
in June
hold on.
2026, Terminal 2 was closed for refurbishment, with all the airlines that flew from there relocating to the new T3. With construction not due to start on that until 2030, ahead of a planned reopening in the mid-2030s, it's another scheme.
Mid-20, bro, I'll be nearly in my 30s by then.
This time, thanks to Terminal 3, the pressure to succeed won't be quite as intense.
Okay, that was a nice video. Really entertaining video. That was, wow. I really enjoyed that. And they're gonna refurbish Terminal 2, which will take until mid 2030s. By then, Terminal 3 will have been opened for like a decade. Damn, and that airport, wow. It is kind of crazy to have your biggest airport not in the capital. Like you look at Spain, UK, France, I think France, yeah. I guess Italy, Milan, is that their biggest airport? Maybe Rome, I guess, but I'm not sure. But in like France, UK, and Spain, it's like Madrid, London, or Heathrow, and in Paris. In Germany, though, it's like significantly clear that like Frankfurt's the main airport, which is cool and different. Really enjoyable video. Sorry I have the hiccups now. Yeah, and it's cool to see that Germany have a nice airport that I want to visit one day, and maybe you guys will, and maybe I will visit one day. Hopefully, eventually. It looks pretty nice, and I really like for me the appeal, especially like land, like depending if you're arriving or departing, you gotta have a nice place to either wait for your plane or to stroll through exiting. So yeah, peace. I'll be seeing you at the next reacts video. My hiccups. Peace.